Hello guys, welcome back to Plastic Action UK, and today we're going to be taking a little look at this, the 1/12 scale Sovereign Knight Batman figure from MEZCO. So starting, just a quick overview. It's obviously a bit of a divisive figure, shall we say. It obviously looks quite different to the original promo images that were put up by MEZCO beginning of last year now, probably. So how long they take getting their figures out. I think this was originally due to drop in November, and I literally got mine a few days ago, so typical MEZCO being a bit late, but it's the changes that have got people really divided in the community. Obviously the promo images had all these lines, you can sort of make them out a bit here. Well, obviously a lot darker. The grey on the suit I think was also a little bit darker. And a lot of people saw this one at Toy Fair and were just disgusted, didn't want it anymore. I know a few people have probably cancelled their pre-orders for it. And I've got to say, getting the figure in hand, my opinion was completely wrong when I was bashing the changes, because it's come out absolutely brilliant. If we take a little look at the details, obviously you start with the head. This is the first head that comes on him in the package, with the longer ears. You can see the tech details around the cowl there, which carry on around the back and a little bit down onto the neck as well. Yeah, he's just got the standard sort of Batman grimace on. You can't really see it that well with the lights here, but he's got a little kind of bit of a 5 o'clock shadow round, which just kind of accentuates. I think this is probably my favourite head sculpt for a Batman figure that MEZCO have done. You come down, like I say, the Bat logo's raised on there. It's like hard plastic, which I think works well as opposed to being like a screen printed one. It just adds a little bit more visual detail to it. And again, as was said in the Frank Miller comics, makes it a bit more of a target, so he can armour himself more around there. You can see all these little details etched, like raised bits on the suit, which kind of almost give it this almost like a chainmail sort of feel to it, but also helps a lot when you're articulating it, but we'll get into that later. Down to the gauntlets. These are pretty sharp, but they've got a bit of flex to them, so you don't have to worry about snapping them. Again, you've got that kind of techie kind of look on the gauntlets compared to the Ascendant Knight Batman they released. Down to the gloves again, you've got that kind of techie look on it, kind of almost like knuckle duster sort of things going on. The belt again looks a bit more high tech than the last one. It's got a little bit of a black wash through the gold just to bring out the details. Down you've got the knee pads, which are a little bit divisive from what I've seen, but I really like them. I think they break up the suit. Obviously he's not wearing the trunks, so this kind of just helps break it up a little bit more. And the boots, again, very, very armoured, kind of almost like an Arkham Batman sort of look to those. And to be honest, this is what the figure feels like to me. It's a bit of a mix between the Arkham Batman and the New 52 Batman. I think it captures the look really, really well. And he comes with a lot of accessories, and I mean a lot. We'll skip over, he comes with the base and the posing stand and wide cape bits, but I'm sure we've all seen those by now. I don't need to get those out. He comes with this head, the short-eared head. Again, you've got the tech details all the way around it. I'll be honest, this is my least favourite one out of the lot. I really don't like those teeth. It doesn't really look like he's grimacing. It kind of, I don't know, more looks like he's just smelt a bad fart or something. I'm not a fan of it. I like the details, it's just the mouth plate I really don't like. I have seen people do a mod on the mouth plate to swap it with the one that's on there now, but I've always preferred a longer eared Batman anyway. Next up, you get a masked Bruce Wayne head, which wasn't advertised with it. It was advertised with the PX and the Onyx, but not with this one, so it was a happy surprise to find this in the box. Again, you can see some of that 5 o'clock shadow. Hopefully the lights aren't dulling it out too much. Blue eyes. It's pretty much the same head sculpt that we got with the Ascending Knight, but just made it look a little bit older. Got a little bit of grey flecked through his hair. And I think overall the paint job on this one's a lot better than the last one. So that came out really nice. And then my personal favourite head sculpt is the battle damage head, which, I mean, look, it looks fantastic. You can see the kind of metal underneath the mask there, where it's been cut through. You can see his eye underneath, a little bit of blood coming down his chin there. Teeth are brilliant on this one. This is how the other one should have looked to me. And, I mean, this is my favourite out of the three. This is the one that I'm very tempted to display it with, and to be honest, I don't normally display these sort of head sculpts, but I'm very tempted with this one because it's so good. Next, I'm not going to get these out because it's a pain, but you get 10 of the little batarangs, which are pretty cool, just cast in a kind of solid black colour, but they look really nice. And then you get one larger batarang. Again, you got some nice detail on it. So that one's really cool. You get his grappling gun. Quite cool design on this, I think. Very kind of like up-to-date tech compared to the last one. I think this came out really well. The paint and sculpt are really nice on it. And you get 2 grapnels for the end. We plug the first one in there. So you get that grapnel in there. And you get one that's exactly the same, but with the string on the end. I mean, I'm sure if you're watching this, you've all had a MEZCO Batman by now. It's pretty much the same that you get with all of them. I'm not going to try and unloop the string because I can't face trying to get it all back together. Next, you've got the Sonic Distributor, which is a new one on me. But I think it's a pretty cool sculpt, pretty cool design to it. Really nice paintwork. And you'll notice the little hole in the side there is because you can unplug the dish off the front and pop it in the side there. To be honest, it's probably not something I'd ever do. I think it looks much better with it plugged in. Otherwise it just kind of looks like a weird grapple gun. But as it stands, I think that's a really cool accessory. The accessory that I really like, but I'm also kind of torn on, is this guy right here. The Bat Drone. And don't get me wrong, it's really cool. But I'm not really sure what exactly I'm going to do with it. Because they don't give you any kind of way to stand it, put it on a posing peg or anything like that. I mean, you could drill a little hole in it maybe and put a little peg in it, but then you've kind of ruined any resale value you might have in it if you don't think you're going to be keeping it long term. But it's pretty cool. You've got some articulation on the wings. You can kind of get a bit of up and down and all around. So it's a really cool accessory. It's just not the most interesting of one. You've got a few hands there. I won't go through them all because the hands, you know, the hands you've got batarang holding hands, grapnel gun holding hands. And this one, which I will show off because it's pretty cool, and it's the Kryptonite Knuckle Duster. And I think this came out really cool. You've got kind of translucent-ish glow to it. So I think that's a really cool accessory. If you've got the Superman figure, which I don't, but if you do, that's a pretty cool accessory there to have. So, let's say he comes with a lot of stuff. There's no problems there. Let's go into articulation quickly. Head, you can get up a little bit, not massive. If you go too much further than that, you're going to start popping it off, but it's not too bad. Down's pretty good. There it goes, popping off. Obviously side to side, and a really good amount of neck tilt. Arms all the way out. Forward, back, no problem. Obviously, you could do the full 360, but you've got the cloth to worry about. But as I say, this cloth, you can see it bunches up a little bit when you're moving it, but as you bring it down again, it all kind of falls back into place, which is really nice. Elbows, double jointed, but the gauntlet gets in the way, but you still get pretty good range on it. Hands on your usual MEZCO joint. Get it all the way around, up and down, swiveling the joint around. Ab crunch. You've got about that much, not the best, but kind of standard MEZCO. And a lot further back. So it's alright, it's not too bad. And you've got some pivot and twist on there as well. Legs, pretty far forward there. Really good out to the side, but obviously you're not going to get it with both legs at once, so you're not going to get the splits, but not too bad. Knees, double jointed, round to about there, pretty good. And now onto my always sore point with MEZCO, the ankles. We've got up to about there, down to about there, so not a great deal of movement there. And you do have a bit of pivot, but not Marvel Legends scale, but not too bad. So I mean, overall articulation on this guy is, I would say, standard for a MEZCO. It's not too bad. You're certainly going to be able to get some fairly good poses with it, I would say. So I wouldn't be too worried. So let's get into some size comparisons. We'll start off with the Ascending Knight Batman. Pop him there. He's looking a little bit wonky, but there he is. So they're pretty much the same size. But the new one, the proportions, I don't know if it's the way the suit is or what, but it just seems to be a little bit more in proportion body-wise. Especially like around the waist and where you come up here, like to the main part of the upper torso. I think it just looks a lot better. So what else have we got down here? Marvel Legends. Let's have a little look along with the new Gambit figure. And that's not too bad. They're about the same height. So I think that works out quite well. So you could probably fit him in with your Marvel Legends if you want to do anything with those. What have we got here? We've got the McFarlane Black Knight, who really doesn't want to stand up for me. Come on, you know you want to. I'm going to hold him because it's easier. So you can see he's obviously 7-inch scale. You could probably get it with a little bit of camera trickery, but in general it's not really going to work that great. Let's have a look with a couple of SHF figures. So we've got the Injustice Harley Quinn, and I think that can work. As Harley, she's always a little bit shorter. I think it works out all right. We've got the SHF Batfleck. I haven't modded this one. I modded my other one, but I haven't modded the torso on this one, so that's the standard height. So you can see he's a little bit shorter. What else have we got on my desk at the minute? The SH Monster Arts Predator. If you want to do any of those Batman Predator crossovers, you could pull it off. He's got a bit more height to him, but I would personally use a NECA one, I think, if you were doing that. So you've got more of a height, make the Predator a bit more imposing. And last but not least, the one that hasn't been off my desk for, well, since I bought it. The MEZCO Hellboy. 1000 Toys Hellboy even. Sorry, I've got MEZCO on the brain. And I think these two scale really well. So good for those Batman Hellboy crossovers. So overall, I think it's safe to say for me, this is probably my favourite Batman figure I've got in my collection at the minute. And I've got quite a lot of Batman figures. I know this is the new one, and obviously new toy. Oh, it's great. But this one is so much better than I expected. So I'm really glad I picked it up. If you're on the fence, I would suggest jumping off the fence and grabbing it while you can. Because you know how it is with MEZCO. Once they sell out, they're a nightmare to try and get hold of again. So I can't recommend this one enough, guys. And I picked this one up from Tam over at Toy Trash. You'll see an advert pop up for it at the end. I highly suggest heading over there if you're in the UK for all your MEZCO and import figures. He's even starting to get a little bit on Marvel Legends and things like that, so it's a great site to check out. And remember, like, comment and subscribe. Head over to the Plastic Action Facebook and Instagram. We've got a competition running at the minute for some Marvel Legends. Hopefully it's still running by the time I get this video up. Otherwise, I've told you to go have a look at that for nothing. But go check it out anyway. We've always got lots of good stuff going on there. And on the website, plasticaction.co.uk. And that's me done, guys. So until next time, I'll see you later.
Please be sure to visit Toy Trash, one of the best online UK toy retailers, especially for imports. With free shipping in the UK, there's no reason why you shouldn't head on over there, say hello to Cam for us, and start stuffing that digital basket with lots of deals. www.toytrash.co.uk, founded by collectors, for collectors.